and we're back with another episode of the Square Thoughts. The topic for today is, I think, one of the hottest debate topics in the marketing world. So, we'd be discussing inbound versus outbound. What is the right mix for B2B clients? And with me, I have Qanaita Mehmood, who is our senior project expert, and she has project managed some of the most complex projects that the SquarePeg has ever undertaken. So, Qanaita, hi, how are you?
Hello, hello. Thank you for the introduction, Zunaira.
We're so glad to have you. I think that this is a burning debate that a lot of clients always have confusion about, and it's generally distrust all over the marketing world. So I think before we start off, let's quickly discuss what inbound marketing is. So, Kanata, over to you. What do you think inbound marketing is from a textbook's perspective and based on your experience as well?
So, in simpler words, so that most of those who are listening can understand, what I can say about inbound marketing is that it's a strategy, marketing strategy, where we are attracting our potential customers or clients to us rather than reaching out to them, which is a you know primitive sales technique. So, how does it work? The basic techniques involved includes SEO and putting out the right content on the website and social media, which addresses the pain points of the potential clients. So that in turns, uh, pushes them, or sort of them to inquire to us and look up to solutions from us. So this is how it works, and they end up in our funnel. So this is basically getting the prospective leads into our funnel organically. I hope this helps with the definition of inbound marketing.
No, I think that you're right. That what we're doing is we're attracting the customer to come to us. So they come to us, and for that, obviously, the variety of strategies that we use, which you've already highlighted as well. So I think that's perfect. So let's now compare it to outbound. Then what would be outbound as in comparison to inbound?
Well, outbound is a more direct approach. We It's a quicker approach as well. Here we are, directly reaching out to our potential customers and clients through different techniques that involves cold calling and cold emails being the, older ones. Now we have LinkedIn outreach, PPC is there. So all these where we are just, going after the potential client and chasing them up and trying to get them on board. So that's how outbound works. It's a quicker strategy, and it's not that it doesn't work anymore. It has evolved over time, and it works for the clients as well. But again, as this discussion is about how to, use the right mix, marketing mix for, the B2B clients of both inbound and outbound. So we'll be discussing that moving forward as well.
Yeah, no, I think I completely agree. So, outbound, as you already said, it's much, much faster. So, sometimes you want to reach a bigger audience very quickly. So, outbound is the way to go. Inbound, as you said, is slower. It takes much more time and effort. So,
Yeah.
so then that is again the question that what do you think is the right mix then for any B2B client? What would you recommend them inbound, outbound? What would be your recommendation?
Well, one shoe doesn't fit all in this scenario, like when we talk of it like that in simpler terms, because there are different business niches out there. Every business has a different goal, different target. So it all depends on what a particular business is looking for, and that's the reason that when we approach a potential uh, client or customer, we are not pushing a standard strategy or a standard package on the face. We try to understand their pain points. We look into their problems and then offer them a customized solution accordingly. So I think that makes a lot of difference, and that's how we uh, you know uh, propose a mix of inbound and outbound. At times, looking at their problem statement, we might suggest them that they should move forward with outbound first and inbound later, maybe, or vice versa. Or we can suggest them a mix of both inbound and outbound in equal proportions. So it really depends on the problem statement that we are addressing for a particular B2B client.
I think that kind of that's the perfect answer. I think for most of the marketing problems, the answer is it depends, and I think it really depends on the client, what their particular business problem is, and what is the customized solution. I think that's excellent. So I think that let's discuss a few case studies, Kanata. Which one would you want to discuss first?
Yeah, so it has been quite some time that we have been, working with different B2B clients, and I think I would like you to, shed some light on the edtech platform that we work with, that was based in US. So how we started off with them and where we helped them land to towards the end. So that's something that I think will help the audience understand how these strategies are actually utilized in practical world.
Absolutely. So I think that's a very interesting example, Kanata. The success that we achieved in it, it was phenomenal, and we really owned that project. So the EdTech platform, it was a multi-end platform. On one end, there were international universities, and on the other end were students, and they were multi-location as well. If you remember, the universities were in Europe, in North America, and the students were essentially all over Asia and then also Africa. So it was like a very challenging project in that sense. And the inbound and outbound strategy that we applied, I think that really worked out well. I really love the part where we curated a community for them, so that the students really felt connected. They could understand that their challenges were being addressed. So, in terms of that, the inbound strategy that we applied on a student end, I think that was quite valuable. But if you remember, Kanata, for the students, we applied an outbound growth strategy. Do you
Yeah.
remember? If you could highlight the growth hack that we used, I think that'll be great.
Yeah, so that was basically via email marketing that we did, and it worked wonders for us. Although it was an outbound strategy, you know, and targeted towards the universities, and that too based in different parts of the world. Like it was not just limited to a particular region, and we were seeing people responding to it because we were addressing the pain point. Their student admissions, sending them nurtured students their way, and Uh, sort of giving them that you can call it the bait, not the right term to be used, but yeah. So
I
uh,
think absolutely. So
sure.
yeah, you have to give them something which would attract them towards opening your email. So I think cold emailing is an art now because there's so much noise out there. Every day there's so many cold emails flowing into your inbox. But I think that this growth hack really worked in this particular scenario, right?
So I do have a question for you in this. Like, this strategy is something that we incorporated a few years back. So things have been evolving in marketing ever since, and it's still, we see a new tool coming up every other day. So all the strategies that we work with, you feel that there's something that's obsolete now, it cannot be used anymore, or you think that everything can be, accommodated where required?
I think that this for this particular client, since their issue was student recruitment, so this model is still working. A lot
Yeah.
of universities work with recruitment agencies. So the agencies start off by sending them students their way, and then eventually develop a partnership. So I would say that for this particular instance, the growth hack that we used, where we were sending these universities qualified student leads, that I think is still functioning and it's still workable because that's how the educational industry works for now.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree on that.
So I think
So,
that yeah, let's discuss our next. What which one would you like? This is exciting. I really
yeah.
getting to talk
So,
about this.
so recently, not recently, actually, it has been almost a year now that we have penetrated deep into the MENA market, and we are seeing a lot of customers from there as well. So, in that regard, I would like you to shed some light on our fintech client, and what was their problem statement, if you'd like to share that, and how we come up with the solution for them, and how it's helping them out currently.
Absolutely. So I think that although they have a fintech element through their business model, but they primarily position themselves as a tax or an accounting firm, right? And their issue is that they're, I don't know, 1,000 and plus accounting firms all over the UAE region, right? So for them, I think, yes, inbound marketing was essential. We're helping them building their brand. We've identified their target personas for them. We've developed a positioning statement for them. We're developing various strategies, where various content that can help not only attract but engage and convert these leads. But on the side, I think the inbound for the outbound part, the LinkedIn outreach that we're doing, I think that's quite effective because again, that helps us shortlist our ICP, and then we reach out to them through LinkedIn. And we're not reaching out to them by, just going up to them and saying, hey, buy this, buy that. Because again, like cold emails, you get around 20 cold emails in your inbox every day. Similarly, LinkedIn outreach has also become quite common, right? And even some people are using bots for that, which I highly don't recommend, because you can right off tell that this is a bot that's reaching out to you. So I think that the message, how it's crafted, how it's curated, we approach it more from a educational perspective, where we shortlist our ICP and then we reach out to them, inviting them to connect with us, inviting them to share their problems with us, and how we can work together and collaborate with each other to resolve that problem. So I think that even while doing outbound, it's essential to have a very carefully crafted strategy. You're not just directly selling things, because as I said, there's a lot of noise out there. I think it's really, really relevant that you keep it a very personalized and very informative, and they can see the value, and they can also see that there's no strings attached to it. So offer them something that has no strings attached. So our call to action for this particular client is that, hey, schedule a free consultation, and at the end, you can walk away with more insight into your finance function. That's what we offer, right? We're not selling them anything. There's nothing that they're buying. So I think that yes, for them outbound is working, because again, their product is not very highly differentiated, so it's very difficult to build an inbound strategy. So this outbound strategy is working, but really needs to be very, very well developed.
Totally agreed, because I that's what I see. Because the previous question that I asked was, again, I think this sort of helped me understand further that there are certain strategies that, when they get popular, they are so popular that everyone is using them, so there's a lot of noise, and then you have to stand out in that noise, and you have to evolve and, sort of modify your strategy accordingly. So that's what we are doing for our clients, and that's how we are surviving ourselves as well in this competitive environment that we are also in. So moving forward to our last case study, I think that will be the logistics tech company that based in MENA region. So if you could, start off how they came up with their initial strategy was, I know that, they were deeply drilled into and spending, thousands of dirhams on their PPC, but they were not seeing the desired results, and they really wanted to, push the organic pipeline. So how did we, really help them achieve their goals, and where do they stand as of now? So if you could, share your thoughts on that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think this is one of our recent case studies. So before I jump into what we are doing for them, I'd like to highlight how we met them. So we met them at a trade show in Dubai. So again, trade show is sort of like outbound outreach, where you're going and putting yourself out there. So for us as a company as well, cold outreach or outbound marketing does work. So this is where we put ourselves out there. We were at a trade show where we connected with them, and we were able to actually convert them. Uh, at the time when we connected with them, they were already enrolled in an accelerator program. And this is the feedback that most of the investors also gave them, that they need to work on their inbound marketing. Now, when we reviewed their digital profile, we understood that a their content was targeted more towards investors and tech people, because they had a logistics SaaS platform, and less towards their actual end user, right?
Yeah.
So the feedback that we gave to them was that you need to redo your content strategy and ensure that, while yes, you are a logistics SaaS platform that is enrolled in this very super cool accelerator program, and your tech is absolutely top of the line, you're using predictive analysis and AI, but for your client, that is secondary. They are more concerned with what is the logistics problem that we're trying to solve
Exactly.
with it. So I think we help them shift their narrative from that of a tech platform to more of the logistics problem they were trying to shift. So that was one thing where we really helped them. And then for the social media profile, again, who they were as a brand, the brand building element was missing, right? They were doing these amazing things, but they were not telling people about that. So
Exactly.
we help them develop their LinkedIn profile. We help them develop their a 360 content strategy where people came to their website and they had all levels of content. They had informational content, they had navigational content, they had commercial content. So I think this was something that we helped them with their SEO strategy. They started seeing an increase in their organic traffic. And other than
Exactly.
that, we also helped them with establishing their co-founders as thought leaders, because they were
Right.
thought leaders. They weren't just putting that message out. So we helped them by establishing their profiles as a thought leader. And Karita, since I know you project managed this, can you highlight what were the actual concrete results? Because you monitored their reports on a monthly basis. We monitor their analytics every week internally as well. So based on the data analytics that we have collected on them, what would you say are the results of this inbound strategy that we crafted to go along with the outbound strategy that they were already doing? So they were already investing heavily, as you pointed out,
Yeah.
on advertisements. So what would you say about the results?
So as far as the results are concerned, we have seen a lot of positive impact of our strategy. It did take time, obviously, inbound is a longer process, but all the content that we have been pushing out on their website, through blogs, through link blogs, and every other strategy that's there in place. So what we see is that the keywords that they were looking to, rank for and appear for in search on Google, they've started, pushing up on that positions. And there was a last week there was a jump of like 54 positions for their you know uh, primary keyword. So I think those are the progress that we are making for them, and we are looking forward to improve it further, because again, like I mentioned, inbound is a slower process in comparison to outbound, but it works wonders when it's there. So I am hoping to see some more positive results for them in the near future.
No, absolutely. I really think that, outbound is excellent for that quick, fast outreach, but it has diminishing returns. If you look at it from a long term perspective, it has diminishing results because the leads that we generate are less qualified. Inbound, while requires a lot of time and investment, but it's a slower process. But once you start reaping the results, you would find more highly qualified leads. You will find a higher conversion rate and also a higher retention rate as well for these customers that you've generated through inbound marketing. So I think
Exactly.
that this really sort of again, so just to wrap things up, uh, for a business that comes to you and asks you that, should we do inbound or should we do outbound, what would you suggest, or what would be the steps that you take to create a strategy for them?
Well, like I said earlier, so the main primary thing is what the problem statement is. We'll understand that first, and accordingly, we'll suggest them which strategy will work best for them. And as we discussed, that marketing is an ever-evolving space itself, and suggesting them the right strategy within the inbound and outbound as well. That also will require to understand their business problem to the core. That we usually do. Always do for all our prospective clients, that we first work on the strategy, in-depth analysis of their business, understand that first, and then offer them a customized solution. And I think that's the right way, uh, no matter what business it is. So that's the right way to go ahead.
No, no, absolutely. I completely agree with you. And just to wrap this up, the debate on inbound versus outbound, I think that what we have discussed so far and what we've seen based on expertise is that uh, there has to be the right mix, right? And in order to do that, you need to have a very deep analysis of your existing digital profiles or your existing business model. And then you also have to have done market research, that what is your target audience, where are they located, what are the pain points, and how are you
Exactly.
going to reach out to them. So once you have established have you done your market research and you've established your target audience, then and only then you can create the right marketing mix for your company. So I think that we're almost done. Anything else that you would like to add, Kanata, as an ending note for anyone? Why should, yeah, so we should do like a shameless plug here. Why should people work with the SquarePeg, Kanata, and why should you be their project manager?
Well, we are super cool, as you can see. And me, as far as me being the project manager is considered, yeah, I'll definitely help you out with whatever you're doing. So being a millennial, I'll be a good choice for that, because nowadays what we see is Gen Z is hardly organized. Sorry, I'm being a bit since I have kids from Gen Alpha right now. So yeah, the people in kids these days, they don't take up stuff well in terms of organization. So I think we are the last
All right.
generation to have good times.
All right, so Qanaita is here is a millennial, and so am I. So she's sort of throwing out a challenge to Gen Z. Well, I think most of our team is Gen Z. We are maybe the only one, odd one out. But yes, I completely agree. And thank you for the 3 second elevator pitch, Qanaita. So I think that just to wrap it up, what we bring on board is a strategic approach,
Yeah.
and we craft a strategy based on data, be it your historical data, be it industry benchmarks, and then we continuously monitor it. I think that's very important, especially with complex businesses, with B2B businesses who are selling to other businesses. It's very, very important to continuously monitor and tweak your strategy, and that's what we bring on board. Thank you so much, Kanata, for being here. And we will continue these series of discussion and this argument on inbound and outbound. If anybody has any comments, we'd love to hear them. You can put them down, or any questions, you can put them down in the comment box. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye there.